The baby shower was meant to be a peaceful celebration, just family coming together to honor the baby we'd been waiting for. But Caroline, my mother-in-law, turned it into something else. It started with the phone call. "Sweetheart, I've already found the perfect venue. It'll be beautiful." I smiled weakly, feeling the knot in my stomach. It wasn't the first time Caroline had taken control, but I was too exhausted to argue. "That sounds lovely," I said, hoping she'd hear the strain in my voice and back off. But she didn't. A week later, she asked for $1,500 for deposits. "For the venue, the caterer," she explained, expecting no questions. "It's a lot, but you'll see. It'll be perfect." I hesitated, my stomach tightening. It was more than we had planned, but I didn't want to fight her. "Okay," I said, transferring the money. "For peace. For the baby." Silence followed. No receipts, no details. Just Caroline's dismissive response when I called. "You're being neurotic. Trust me. I've got it handled." But then the screenshots came from Gemma. Caroline, lounging in a robe, a glass of champagne in hand, nails freshly done. "I deserve a day of pampering," the caption read. The timestamp? 2 days after I sent the money. I was furious. When Edgar called Caroline on speakerphone, he asked, "Did you use the shower money for a spa day?" She laughed. "I was stressed. I earned it." "That money was for the baby," I said, my voice tight with restraint. "And?" she replied dismissively. I felt something inside snap. At the baby shower, amidst pastel balloons and smiles, I stood up. "I'd like to say a few words," I said, my voice steady, despite the storm inside me. Caroline beamed, unaware of what was about to unfold. I clicked the button. The slideshow began. Ultrasound photos, baby themes, soft music. Guests murmured in approval, thinking it was a sweet moment. Then the tone shifted. The text appeared. "I need $1,500 for the venue and caterer." Caroline's words. The next slide. "You're being neurotic." Caroline's face turned pale as the next slide loaded. Her, in a spa robe, smiling with a champagne glass. The room fell silent. I turned to Caroline, a thin smile on my face. She sputtered, but said nothing. And then she bolted, her heels clicking furiously, the door slamming behind her. For a moment, no one spoke. Then Gemma wrapped me in a hug. The party continued, but the damage was done. Caroline left, humiliated. I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. That night the text began, crying, accusations, blaming me for ruining everything. But I couldn't respond. It wasn't just about the money anymore. It was about control. When the voicemail came, I listened in silence. Caroline begged for forgiveness, but never took responsibility. For the first time, I understood that pretending would never fix what was broken. But the worst part came a few days later. Caroline escalated. She went public. On Facebook, she painted herself as the victim, claiming I was tearing apart the family, poisoning Edgar against her. People liked her post. Church members reached out to offer their support. But I didn't respond. The silence was suffocating, but it gave me time to think, to plan. The phone calls kept coming. Kendrick, her son, tried to patch things up, but I wasn't interested in fixing what was broken. He didn't understand, and that hurt more than anything. But it was clear he wasn't going to change. Then came Easter. Caroline, acting as if nothing had happened, hugged Edgar and ignored me. She tried to lay the guilt on thick. "We're leaving," Edgar said, his voice low and firm. Her mask cracked. "You're the problem," she spat. "You're keeping my grandson from me." I didn't speak. I didn't need to. We walked out, heads held high. But as the door closed behind us, I knew this wasn't over. 2 weeks later, I found myself sitting at the kitchen table, staring at the phone. Edgar's phone buzzed. Kendrick again. More messages. And then, the call from Caroline. My stomach turned. I was done. Done trying to appease her. Done pretending everything would be okay. When Edgar hung up the phone, he didn't look at me. He just sighed, exhausted. "She's still our mother," he muttered. And I realized that wasn't enough anymore. The phone rang again. Caroline. I didn't answer. It wasn't about family anymore. It was about survival. We'd chosen peace. We'd chosen freedom. But Caroline wasn't going to let go. Not yet. And when she showed up again, pounding on our door in the dead of night, I knew it was time to take control. This wasn't just a fight for peace anymore. This was about protecting everything we built. And I wasn't about to lose.